Excavation is a map which I have mixed feelings about. I like the design, I like the way the map looks, I like its size. I think that for the Predator it's usually good to not have a map that is very spread out, especially for the raid locations, which I'm going to be showing here. The raid locations are not very hard for you to check them, like a lot of them, like in a short amount of time, because it's a small map and a lot of the raid locations tend to be close to each other. The only difference I would say is that the radio at the caves, it has like two different locations. It always spawns at the caves, but it can have like two different locations, while the other ones are always fixed. The map, oh, speaking of the cave, the map has one of the biggest problems in the game, the caves, which they look cool and all, however it's like a death trap for the Predator. That's one of the worst locations. Like here in the grass, in the camps, I think they're mostly okay. However, in the caves, there is not much the Predator can do. He can try maybe use the smart disc from far, but in the cave, he's like going inside a building as a Predator, and we all know that in this game that doesn't go well for him. You know, he can just like be body blocking, and there's like not much way to move. You cannot like leap inside the cave. You know, you just cannot move well. It's just like a nightmare. You know, and usually you know that it's gonna be a cave mission when the fireteam votes for the southeast location. So if you use target, let's say you spawn here at north. Oh yeah, if you spawn here at north, I think that it means that the fireteam is gonna spawn always at southeast, and that usually means that it's gonna be a cave mission, and you're fucked. If it's like the cave mission of the safe, because I think there are like two others. There is one which the fireteam starts here, and then he goes to the caves. But usually you're gonna want to try to prevent them from getting to the cave. And it's, in this map, it might not be that hard just because of its size. This is the map, in my opinion, that is the hardest to cross over and get to the fireteam fast. So, but this location here, like from there, north to southeast, you have to cross a little bit more. If you spawn there, oh, I think that, no, I think for the fireteam, at the best location, which I like the fireteam to spawn here, is at southwest. For that location, usually the Predator would have to spawn in this side at northeast. So Predator spawns at northeast, the fireteam spawns at southwest. So Predator is gonna spawn here, and easy way for it to just get there is just leaping and going to the branches, and you can get them like quite fast in comparison to the other maps. You'll be able to get to the fireteam location quite easily, and then try to attack them before they can start the mission in any camps. If it's a cave mission, you really want to start engaging the fireteam before that. So advantage for the Predator in this map, it's a small map, so you can get to the fireteam spawn location quite fast. So if they might come here, like they spawned there, they might come through here to go to the south camp, or they might go through this river here to go to the north camp. Either way, since it's a small map, you can like maybe just go to this branch here if the fireteam spawned there, and if they come this way here to this area, they're probably gonna try to go to the north camp. If they don't, if you see them moving like through there, they're probably gonna go to the south camp. And through this jungle area between the camp and the spawn location, that's where you're gonna want to try to get some kills, because if they reach the camp, it's gonna get much harder. This camp here, it's not that good for the Predator. The tree is a little bit further away. The buildings here give good protection for the fireteam. You can try to maybe get on one building to try to shoot plasma in case, like, let's say the fireteam is like that building and vice versa. But this camp overall, I would say, is like mid. Like, it's not really like that good for the Predator. And if they start the mission here, there are some missions in this camp which are very fast. The weapon struck, which they might be this one because it's close. If they spawn it, if the fireteam spawns at northwest, the mission can usually be. I mean, if they voted for the one closest, the mission is gonna be at the south camp here, or it can be like in this little building in this area. There's also a mission that starts here, or they might go for the north camp. If the fireteam starts at the north camp, then I mean the north area of the map, then the mission is probably gonna be the north camp, like most of the time. If the fireteam spawns at southeast, the mission is probably gonna be at the caves, because that's like the closest area closest route to the caves. If the fireteam spawns at northeast, which can happen, actually, if they spawn at north, I think there's only a few missions that start at the north camp, which make the fireteam go there. But I think that those are like the ones that the fireteam doesn't have an option to vote for north spawn, because the north spawn is closer to the camp. So if there's a mission here, you usually want has the fireteam to spawn there. instead of there, you know. So about the radios, there's gonna be one here, and there are gonna be three that are very like relatively close to each other. There's gonna be one in this one, which is like also not very further away from that one. Then there's gonna be one up there. So you check this one, you can jump on here to check the radio in this location. And then the one at the caves is kind of close. However, you have to get inside the caves to get to the radio, which is a problem because here your only option is to run. If you try to leap, like usually sometimes it can work, but a lot of times he's just gonna bump through the caves, you know? It's not gonna go well. Sometimes the radio can spawn here. Why are the bots here? Huh, that's weird. Okay. Or it can spawn there. So in these locations, you're gonna be forced to come to the caves. If there's only one fighting player left, it won't be much of an issue, but if there are multiple of them, it's just like tends to be an overall bad location. Then you have two more locations, I think. One in that little building there, and the one at the south camp. So we have, I think there's 3 in the middle, 4, 5, 6. Six radio locations. It's not like as bad as Blackwater. So I would say it's like almost in the same level as Overgrow, because Overgrow also has, I think, this around the same amount, and it's a small map which allows you to cross quickly. However, the spawn location at the cave is just bad. Like I hate it because when I play this map, it's like always the reinforcement is inside the caves. The caves is just like a terrible location for the Predator. The north camp, I think it would probably be a little bit better to fight the fighting than in this one, but I don't. The locations tend to be more fighting sided. The caves is 100% fighting sided. Like there is nothing the Predator can do there. You just have to wait until they finish the objectives at the cave and go to the like maybe this camp to continue the objective. But if it's a mission that like the safe mission that all the objectives are inside the cave, there's not much you can do, to be honest. This camp here, I would say, you can get some good angles. Like you can try to spot the fighting from far, but the angles and positioning that you can get to the trees around the camp, they are not as good as the ones like in Overgrow. It's good that it's a small, or relatively like small camp. You can get good position. It is not hard for you to figure out which missions they're gonna do, you know. So you can easily like just by the spawn location, you're gonna be able to, or let's say, actually for me to figure out the missions in this map, it can be a little bit trickier. Because I have not played this map as much as Overgrow and Derailed, because in private games, like it's very rare for people to pick like the Predator player to pick this map, because you know that if they get a mission at the caves, like I'm just gonna lose the match. It's like an auto loss for the Predator, you know. The idea of Iphonic, when I remember when they added the game, they would say that the Predator needed to go up here to fight the fighting. However, this is just like a small part of the cave. Like, how about this part like inside here? What is the Predator supposed to do? Why are you here, Piggy? If the fighting is doing an objective in this area, maybe this crate is an objective. I have a little bit more trouble figuring out which mission is gonna be. Like I know like a little bit like overall about how like if I see the fighting in a camp, I have a good idea of which mission is probably gonna be, like the options there. Like I know all the missions like in this map, like memorized, and kind of like I know how they all work. But I might have a little bit more trouble in this map, like seeing the difference between certain missions than like let's say in other maps, like because it's just the objectives like don't stand out as much. Like let's say Overgrow. Overgrow, there's like the mission of the relics. You go to the camp and you see those red boxes and you know right away. It's more easy to spot. I feel like for the Predator is also why is that pig just there? Pigs are spawning kind of funny right now. I never saw them spawn here. That's weird. Usually they just do to the cave area. Oh, about pigs. Since I'm talking about the pigs, this map has good pig spawn location. Like there where the bots are. This is a location where like pigs tend to spawn here like crazy. I would say that the only another advantage for the Predator in this map, pig spawns. They tend to spawn a lot of pigs in this map, more than I see maybe like in Overgrow or Derailed. And what I was gonna say. Oh, also AI. There are some missions where AI it spawns a lot of AI. So and because of the fact that the map is small, they tend to swarm on the fighting more than usual, you know, because it's like close quarters and it spawns a lot of AI. I think that the mission here, in this area here that starts in the satellite. Oh, it might be this mission. Yeah, it could be this mission because I see the objective. It's yellow. But the one here, it can spawn a lot of AI fast. So I would say, since this is a small map, I would recommend maybe trying to trigger the alarms for sure. Try to trigger as much alarms as you can as you cross over the map to get to the firefighting, and you might have a little bit of time. Now, it's not a mission that spawns there because there would be objectives in this side. So I don't know how to figure out the mission in this map. It's a little bit trickier, and I cannot rely on the location where the bot spawn and has like a judgment for it. I have not seen anything in the camps that might indicate if there are the antennas. It could be like the one that they have to destroy, like these antennas in this map. But overall, this map, I like the design, I like the idea. The problem is that in practice, it just kind of backfires, you know. It just tends to be painful for the Predator, mainly because of the caves. Like in Clash, I think this map is very fun. Like if I'm gonna play Clash, this map is like, it can be a good option. The radio locations, the cave, there's not much option like to counter. This one here, also good angle here. If you go through like the one at the, like up there, this branch is a good location to prevent the reinforcements. You just stay here and try to shoot them from there. I think I would say like this map is mostly okay to prevent reinforcements, unless you are very unlucky, like me, to get the radio at the caves. But everything else is like mostly okay. Also trees around in this one, so you can like shoot there. Like see how easily I can cross this map without taking very long. This one here, this building here can be annoying if the fighting tries to just stay here. This one here is more protected. I mean, for the radio that spawns here, you will need to maybe get into this branch, yeah, to be able to shoot it. So if you're coming from there, it might take a little bit longer for you to get a good angle to shoot from here. But then again, they can easily get in cover. Like since there's a building here, the fighting can call the radio and just jump here and protect himself from the fire, which kind of force the Predator to try to come down here to try to kill him before the other ones are called back. And the fighting can just keep like jumping, like running around here to prevent. So like I would say like this location is for radio is not that good for Pred. The ones at the north are a little bit better. This one also, like you have to get on this building, get through here. You're gonna have to expose yourself, because from here you won't be able to. I think this antenna is gonna block for me. Oh, actually no. So there's a good angle here that you can try to use it to prevent the fighting from calling radio from here. This branch maybe. I think the roof is gonna protect. No, I think I can do like from here. Okay, so yeah, at least I think at least this you can get a little bit like of good angle, but you have to come from the sides. Like from here, this building usually protects a lot of the plasma usage. I remember like a match which there was like I was a PC pre-made, and Dante called the radio here, and I think I had to, he was just like he had so much HP because people know how durable Dante is in this game. So I did shoot some plasma on him, but he still was not down. He managed to call the radio, but then I just desperately came here and just started to shoot our plasma. But it's gonna be very risky. Like I managed to down him because he was already out of resources. However, like it was just very risky. Oh, I forgot to mention default medikits. This camp tends to spawn a lot of medikits, but they're not like always like default. They don't always spawn here. Default medikits in this map are the one here in this one, which you can. What? It's not here. That's. Oh wait, I did already destroy it. I think I already destroyed. But there's usually one here. And you might want to destroy it just to try to get like take away that from the fighting. And I would say I think there's only one more from what I remember right now, a default medic in this map, which is the one at this camp. But this usually most fightings don't tend to use it because it's kind of further away from the mission objectives. It's close to one at the spawn locations, unless they are doing a mission at the cave, which they might come here to use this. This medikit here. So it has less default medikits than derail it and backwater. So it's like that's why I wanted to use a mix. It has some good points. Doesn't have that much resource for the fighting. It's a small map. The radio locations are kind of okay for the Predator to deal with. However, the caves and the camps are just not the best for the Predator to engage. Oh, well, this is just my overall evaluation on the excavation map.